and welcome to another TCGScrubs podcast. We're back with our normal Oscar and Joey.
Hey guys.
What up?
And we have some pretty interesting stuff to talk about this week that will be sure to spur even more conversations and speculations. Before we get to that, I want to give a quick shout out once again to our patrons over at patreon.com/TCGScrubs who, as I always say, make this possible. A huge thanks to them. We just got in some new equipment that we're going to be hopefully in the near future start using for some videos, and we'll have some more equipment on the way in the next week or two. And it's not like all random things here. You will very noticeably start seeing differences in specific videos that we will we'll probably go over. We went over on our Patreon what exactly those are in our Patreon mini podcast, but you guys will be surprised when you get to see them.
Yeah, in probably like a week or two, this whole background is gonna change for me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I was like, what are you doing?
Are you gonna have internet right away? Are you able to film next week's podcast?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not.
It's okay. We got some special guests hopefully lined up soon here for you guys, so that'll be better than Joey.
No one's better.
I will also have a change here in like a month, so look forward to that.
This will be here for a while, guys. Just get used to all of that.
I'm gonna try and have a whole room dedicated to filming for you guys, so it's gonna be pretty badass. But yeah. Also, if you guys are looking for Forcible singles or Forcible Buylist, including pre-ordering the next set, Winds of the Ominous Moon, for $80 right now, visit Happy Little Hug Factory in the description below. Make sure you click that link so they know we sent you. They're really awesome over there. They have a lot of great stuff, and it's really good to support people who support the game, especially the single community. So, single card community part. But yeah. What you got there, Oscar, that we've definitely never shown?
No, I was saying our patrons got theirs.
Yeah.
From the looks of it.
Our patrons just got those. We got to order the next set of the next color here pretty soon, as well as all the other colors for the next 5 months. So
yeah.
We'll probably be doing I don't know if we decided, but as of right now, if you join, you'll miss the red coin, but there's a chance you might have a chance to get at it again. We might loop around again, so it will be a limited run of them. So, you want to go into our first topic here, Oscar? Introduce us.
So we are TCGScrubs. I'm just kidding. Our first topic that we're going to go into, I think, was going to be the video that was recently posted to our channel from Jay Wheeler, going over the top 10 list of the most expensive cards, right?
Kloss.
Yep. Sorry, I used to call him Jay Wheeler. But anyways, it's going to be his video over like top 10 cards that are market-wise, how much they're going for. Most expensive to least expensive, I guess, technically. 1 through 10. I don't know a better way of explaining that. But anyways, he did a video for us. And I don't know, it sparked a lot of debate in the comments. A lot of people, saying some stuff.
Yeah, so it's an interesting conversation. It was cool because last time we did a video, it also sparked a lot of conversation. And I love this type of stuff, of back and forth.
Yeah, and listen, some of you are going to hate it. Some of you are going to like it. And some of you probably just don't care. But it starts the conversation, you know?
Yeah, so you want to go over, so obviously the card prices aren't what sparked that. So what did he talk about that sparked it? So
what he talked about, and then I'm trying to run off my memory of what I saw yesterday. How his predictions was the company was intentionally short running the sets, I believe is what he said, in order to, I guess, spark these price increases, but that he saw it as a negative as opposed to a positive. To me, the way I see it is, why would a company try to spark the secondary market that they see value in a game that they're trying to maintain at a low price for easy entry point, So I don't believe the company did it intentionally. Is what my standpoint is on that.
It's an interesting point of view because it was sort of his thoughts was basically to do the short run to create I think his thoughts was like the illusion of demand as well, and that sparks secondary market basically to help them sell out of the remaining product if they see the game is dying. Essentially, was his point. Mm-hmm. So I can see where that's coming from. My thought that I put on our Discord, and it was a thought I had a while ago, I mentioned a podcast a while ago when some of these issues had arisen as far as print companies and all that stuff, was I think after ADK or during ADK, my theory was something, maybe the sales didn't happen the way they want it to, or something happened financially, and so they this is before the CEO letter came out and they started doing these course corrections. Before that happened, they did a quick, to save money, switch printers to the, let's be honest, complete shit we got. Like, even if all the card quality was right, I'm very upset about the booster box. I loved the new booster boxes, and not only did we get the old booster box that's before the newer, we went 3 boxes back, but it's even worse quality than even like Millennia of Ages booster box. Like, this is one of the worst booster boxes quality wise I've ever seen. But then also we had the other issues that like seemed evident of a print company that maybe isn't as high quality or isn't used to this high of demand, so they're a little bit newer, so they're trying to get their foot in the door, so offering cheaper prices, something like that. So they switched that and did a smaller print run in order to guarantee recoup on prices and stuff like that, as a knee-jerk reaction to something maybe with ADK or the set before that, because I don't know how far back this stuff goes. So R4 is when we would course correct back to the normal quantities that people would see. Secondary market will even out because of the ruler distribution has been so weird and pretty bad as well. So I'm hoping R4 is when this all corrects, but I think a lot of this stems from a knee-jerk reaction that happened before the CEO course corrected, was my thoughts.
Yeah, and something I was just remembering right now as you said these things was changing printer, which somebody in the comments of a US post, and I don't know how credible the source is or their information, but was talking about like a printer located in Dallas area, like in Texas, which I was like, that'd be crazy to send all the way over here. 2 is I remember when Jordan used to do all the stuff he did, and one time he mentioned how I think it's because there was some mistake that happened before. I already forget what the mistake was, where he actually had to go to the print shop that they were being made at, which was located in Japan at the time, so it wasn't too far. He said he had to take a train ride over a city or whatever, and then go and inspect, like quality control wise, a set of the cards that just had come out before they continued printing them. And it makes me wonder, are they not doing that now? Is that how it's discovered now? That because it wasn't like they printed the entire set right here, come look at them. Are they good? Yeah, okay, cool, we'll send them out. It was more like, here, we printed the first batch. How is that? Is it good? Cool, we'll continue doing that batch. Come back later, double check it again.
Yeah, they had specifically said that they opened a booster box for quality control, and they're like, oh no. But it's a weird thing to open a booster box for quality control after everything is already printed and getting ready to be sent out. Like, it seems like the best you can do, which is what they did, which was like, oh no, that sucks. I mean, obviously the company took steps to correct it, but it's still like something that is weird that it got so far as printing the entire set and avoided that quality check.
Well, and then it goes back to, again, me talking about Jordan is, while people don't take a lot of the things Jordan said seriously, or even that he was telling the truth, I think there was a lot of truth to some of the things he did say. Even some of the things that maybe just came out, maybe he shouldn't have said it, which there was a quality control check he had to go do, right? When the first set was starting to be printed. And then he had always mentioned how they would get boxes once the print runs were done, sent to them. And then they would go through and they would open them up and double check them. So that's probably where the quality control actually happens at this point. They finish the run, they go, here's some boxes, we're going to ship out to distributors, and then they open them up, and they're like, oh crap,
Yeah.
So I don't know, like maybe, catching that, they'd be like, you know what, let's double check this on that initial run here. Let's send this guy to go look.
It's interesting to me that, like, I don't know, I just, like, nobody caught it at the print center either. I mean, we've all worked at print centers, and like one of the first things I do whenever I throw something on is like walk over and physically check it. And like, I mean, yeah, sure, maybe the guy doesn't know what he's printing, but I mean, it should match what the design layout he got. So I don't know, that's just weird to me. As far as like theories on like the company is trying to like artificially hike prices up, I kind of have to agree with Colin that like it's just a print error like issue thing. Like, there's a lot of stuff that like, goes like behind the scenes and like that we aren't privy to and stuff like that. And I think this is one of those things that like, it's just, so the supply and the demand didn't equal out, but it's through no fault of like, on like purposely like meaning to hike up the price. Maybe they are trying to, you know, not sell as many boxes because of like pricing issues, like Colin had said. But I don't think there's any like malicious intent to it, or, you know, an intent to drive up like secondary market prices.
Yeah, I don't think the secondary market necessarily factored into it. It was, and we did hear from, who was it? Was it Jeff? It might have been Jeff, who was in the US group, had mentioned that they've almost filled up their orders for the second print run so that they can go to the printers and be like, okay, we have enough pre-orders for the second print run of TSW to send that out, with hopefully corrected versions as well.
It seems. I was reading some of the comments, and it seemed like the set was like selling well. Like a lot of people were interested in it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen
like a good set,
and I've seen posts almost daily now showing up in the US group of people like, hey, I just started. You know, what
we
do you
just had
recommend?
two people, one or two people join our Discord like just now who are newer.
Yeah.
Or at least one. I don't know if the same one was. But
well, I mean, there was one a couple of days ago too where they're like, yeah, I'm just getting started. What do you recommend? And all these different things. And yeah, so I think it is selling great. And then like at our locals, we don't have any more product. Everybody bought all the boxes, and she even set some aside for when we wanted to either draft or prize packing. And then her employees didn't know, and some guy showed up and bought the last 2 boxes that she had set aside. So we're prizing off ADK, ACN, and ENW right now, which is hilarious. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm really looking forward to boxes coming out, because like right now, if you go look online, most of the boxes are already going for 95 and up for the most part, and the ones that are 95 have like $10 to $15 shipping. So everything's right now $100 up if you want to go get a booster box, which we're all used to paying around $80 for that shipped. So I don't know. I know when it comes out, I'm definitely gonna want to buy a box, because there's a lot of stuff I didn't get. Like I make lists of things I don't have yet, and the list for this set is really long, and the cards on it are pretty pricey, where I'm not ready to spend $4 to $5 per card on it just yet.
Yeah.
And also getting cards, especially the inverse cards that have the nicks on it, hopefully getting versions of those that aren't as bad print quality, especially for all my inverseness I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, I honestly just kind of want to buy a box just to look at how bad the print quality was, because like, you know, I've got my I don't know what box that is sitting over there, but like that's, you know, like I love, you know, like Colin said, like those all I think all the boxes I've bought have been like the higher quality, like high quality boxes.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know what box they're talking about, and like
you started off at like the Moonlit Savior, right, which was already on the nicer end of boxes.
No, Moonlit Savior was still they didn't switch to BFAs when they switched to the hard boxes. I remember, because I was like, oh man.
I bought Moonlit
Savior.
Savior.
I think BFA, wasn't it?
No, but I think you want a CFC box, right?
Yeah, I want a CFC box. I bought a CFC box, then I want a CFC box.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, those were like, and then I bought and then we bought a you know, so
before getting too far, I do want to say, for those who are like, what, Oscar's complaining about buying a $4 to $5 card, go play Magic, ha ha ha. I got the decks I want to run build. I just try to buy all the other cards up or get them to collect them. So I have play sets of every card. So when we want to do videos or anything like that, I can build a deck easily without worrying about it. That's what I'm trying to get at. I don't need the cards now, which is why I don't want to spend the $4 to $5 on it now. I'll wait until they're cheaper or another box comes out I can get my hands on to complete sets out.
I was halfway right, by the way. Moonlit Savior, they had the hard box, but it wasn't the nice hard box. It was just like that weird in-between one. So I was also wrong. We went like 5 boxes back in box quality. I forgot about that weird in-between phase.
Like, I think all the cards I've ever bought have been like really nice. Like they've been the best cards I've ever bought for any trading card game.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's what everybody says. Even like if you go watch that Alpha Investments video the other day when he talked about them and their print runs, there's at least a decent amount of comments that, besides the ones who are like, what? I thought he was talking about the Forcible card. What is this game? The ones that were serious were like, at least acknowledge the fact that it does have great print quality to their cards.
Yeah.
And I'm just...
He made fun of Magic. He was like, Magic, how are you not... How is Forcible like leagues better than your card quality? And like, you go and look at the comment section, everyone, even who don't like Forcible, are like, yeah, I mean... They're way better card quality than us.
Yeah.
So
and that's the one thing they can't admit, at least. Yeah.
It's super surprising me. Like I kind of just want to buy like cards from this set just to like see how shitty it is.
Go buy a box right now.
I
bucks on
literally,
eBay.
like I said before, I was literally carrying the booster box and it just like the bottom caved out with my cards in it. It was like,
we opened our second box and we just like opened the lids, and in the process of opening the lid, like they just tear off completely.
Yeah.
You're like,
the
what? That was like barely the
disintegrated
effort
in our
to pull this
hands.
off.
All right. Yeah, I feel like you guys are exaggerating. But
No,
now
go
I
buy
gotta,
the box, Joey. Go get it
There
right
are no boxes
now.
available.
I don't have
No,
a
I
box
just told
to
you
show
there
you.
is. They're on
Joey,
eBay.
I literally don't have a box to show you because I had to throw them all away because they literally are complete trash.
They are.
And it's I'm really excited for the
looking
second. I'm definitely going to buy a box for the second print run because it has some of my favorite full arts out of any. For Ultra Dragon is probably one of my favorite full art cards they've ever done.
Oh yeah,
in
no,
my
they have
opinion.
some definitely some pretty cards. Yeah, look, these boxes, like I said, going for about minimum of a 116 right now, and the one that is 93 has $15 shipping on eBay.
Real quick, just to clarify, we're not like bragging on J Ruler.
No. It was just a difference in opinion. Like he
Yeah.
does represent his own opinion, and then we represent our own opinion.
Yeah.
And he's still, again, always welcome on the channel to do his stuff. But
Yeah, we'll have him on for other stuff too. Don't worry. But real quick, some of the comments. I was just going to go through some of the comments if you want to say something before that.
oh yeah, just real quick, Joey, 104 on TCG Player, shipping included.
Yeah.
Go get it right now.
I mean, if anything, I'll probably just wait for the second print run.
Okay. Go ahead and continue. I actually have one topic I wanted to talk about, but we'll talk about it after. I'm going to write a reminder here.
You said you're going to say one more thing before I go into that?
No. Go ahead. I wrote down
Okay.
a note so I can remember what to say when we're done here. Go ahead.
So there were some people who pointed out, which is one thing I forgot to mention, was there's also a lot going into some of these card pricing, especially like the misprint rulers, where I think the top in the top 4 spots were 2 of the misprint rulers. And so you've got that misprint factor on top of the rarity factor on top of this weird thing of not knowing which ones are real and which ones are misprint and figuring out that pricing. So it's kind of like how Ubers are right now, where you can't find the price of the actual Uber Shayla because of the Chase Uber Shayla. People are getting those two confused and stuff on TCG Player. So the market's in this really weird place because of how the game handled some of that.
Also, Charizard's just super freaking good. So like,
I can't wait for her to show up in the marketplace and have a really high price so I can sell this extra one finally. I don't want to sell it because I don't want to be like, sure, here's $30. I'm also not trying to price gouge somebody, but I want to get some money off it so I can buy that next box I was talking about.
Isn't like already? It's already like 30. What, you think it's gonna?
No. That's the misprint. The fixed ones, there's no market in there anymore right now.
Okay, I see.
People are still getting their cards in. Is what we're waiting for.
But yeah, I mean, I think another factor that is like, I think so. It was Charizard, Imul, Welser, IU, and what was the 5th one?
Duskull, did you see that?
Duskull, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like 3 out of those were this recent set.
Yeah.
I think Welser and IU were just like the ruler ratios were just like everything I've heard it's just been bad. And I think that's why that's like
the 80k ruler ratio was absolutely atrocious.
And I think this new one is like, again, weird, like low print run, like the whole misprint rulers and stuff like that. I don't know. So I think yes, it's weird, but I don't think there's anything like inherently bad about it or like the company's fault. But I will also say that like definitely I think Charizard is like gonna be really strong, and so she's probably gonna like, I think that's another reason why she's high up there.
Yeah, I mean she did do well.
Yeah, like a quick side tangent. Like I mentioned Oscar. I don't know if I said it on here. Like Sherry's good. I don't think it's good because of necessarily the ruler effects. I think it's good because you get a starting hand of 10 cards, 5 of which are counter cards. I don't think anything else about the deck, the dolls, the quick cast for the dolls, the legend effects, I don't think any of that is good about the... Well, it's good. It's nothing that would be tier 1 or anything like that. I think the draw power and hand fixing are super strong. And the fact that you technically start the game with 10 cards, 5 of which you are guaranteed, and those 5 are also counters for most things that are a threat in the game, is the reason that it's strong. As such, it has much higher potential to fall off, higher potential than Fair and other rulers. So I'm not as worried about Sherry Right? I mean, it's still annoying. That's a green ruler that's dominating and all that stuff. You're just gonna throw it out there. That's annoying, but it's not fair or bad in my opinion.
The company's listening to you right now.
Fair.
The company's listening to you right now, and they're like, "Oh, you're right. Those dolls aren't great. Here's some really good dolls."
Yeah, like
so
like
now
when,
you know what?
All the legend effects.
Yeah.
Here's some really good
here's some
Like,
really great ones. Now, guys, when you go see these next spoilers, and there's a card that's super broken, it's a dog, in the comments of the main page, be like, "Way to go, Colin." That's it. Just way to go, Colin.
Or
and it'll be an inside joke amongst
this,
us all.
How do they print this story chant? Why would they do this? It's Colin's
yeah,
Yeah,
a
it's
story.
Colin's fault.
You know
said
what?
something.
Two things. One, it's gonna be like when Fox like became a god, and they're like, "Wow, Fox is strong." Here's like 3 cards that only help Fox and pretty much nothing else, and make him tier 0. But
Some would argue
what
that.
I bet you anything, because Jeff had mentioned that their green was getting even stronger in R4 before he came in, and was like, "Stop that." I bet you anything there was going to be a freaking story chant that was like a 2-cost cancel spell card. Just a straight up cancel. That was like 2 green or something like that. That was also a story chant.
It would be cool.
Bet my bottom dollar.
If like.
Well, not my top dollar. I guess it doesn't matter. I only have $1. Okay, continue.
It'd be cool if at some point, like if it's Jeff or if anybody, we can get somebody on the podcast. It's like, well, I'm sure it would end up being Jeff because English speaking. But to have him on and be like, there was actually going to be this one card one time like 4 sets ago, and it was going to be blah 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 blah, but it was really good, and we're like, whoa, dang, that's crazy. Yeah, that would have been great. Or stuff like that. Some cool behind the scenes things like, that one artwork that you see of like Kaguya. Yeah, that was supposed to be a whole nother card, but we went ahead and reworked it into this other card.
That'd be super
stuff
cool.
Like that would be neat.
Yeah. Like when I was spoiler, I don't know when I'll ever get finished with this, but like when I was doing the stuff for the mini documentary I was going to do for Kaijudo, I was talking with one of the people who used to do some of the design for Kaijudo, and like finding out some of his insight working at Magic on Kaijudo and stuff like that was like super interesting. Like that hindsight perspective is of like stuff that could have been.
Yeah, I mean, cool. It's like I was telling you earlier today, Colin, when I was watching Alpha Investments, and he had a guy on there with a bunch of misprinted cards or out whatever you call them, like where they're kind of like not publicly distributed cards, and he said the game was only supposed to be an independent standalone game, and the next set ended up being this next set, but it was supposed to be its own standalone game until the community was like, no, make an expansion, that'll be it. And they're like, okay, so they wipe the board and make it an expansion and rework it. Like stuff like that's cool. I mean, you find out history of things like this, it's really neat.
Yeah. So the comments section.
Yeah, no, I was the type that we should probably get back.
Well, I'll just go over real quick some of the highlights. It's interesting.
It was
the
best one for last.
It was a pretty 50-50 split between people who were like, yeah, no, I agree, great seeing you back, and other people were like, burger, which makes for a lot of interesting conversation, which is really cool. People pointing out what I had said about the flooding of rulers and stuff like that, and how that affected other ruler pricing and stuff like that. I just saw some new comments that I hadn't seen before. One person was like that they feel that Forcible may be doing this on purpose because of how many people complained about the secondary market. So this was them trying to appease them, but maybe going too far. He said the game is looking more like a regular TCG now, despite their constant adjustments they're making. He's just hoping that they stick with the normal pull ratios. We have our friend the Laughing Man from Ghost in the Shell, who doesn't seem a fan of conjecture. Which, to be fair, yeah, conjecture is conjecture, but it's fun to talk about conjecture. Like I spent a little bit of this talking about conjecture of what I think happened, but I think it's based on good evidence. But obviously, there's no way to ever know for sure.
That's why it's called conjecture.
Unless you want to come on, Jeff. But
we should get him back again.
Yeah, no, I mean, he said he was open on the Q&A of doing more stuff.
We should like really grill him. Like
we would do a legit interview. Like, where were you on December 23rd when this all happened?
All right, Jeff. Listen,
December
what is the
23rd.
real reason?
What was that your go-to?
Wait, what was the thing I was gonna call Jeff out on?
The anime? Not
No, I already
not
called him out on
watching
the anime. Don't worry, guys. I called him out on his anime.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I just remember you talking about it.
Let me know if you guys remember. But
you know what I remember now that we were waiting for to bring Jeff back on was he had mentioned in the last Q&A he's gonna try to get a better mic, and he's obviously already using a streaming platform like OBS maybe, so he can now record his audio so we get better audio in the next podcast. Yeah. That's what I think we're gonna. But we can also bring it up.
He's also going to be busy all this month, he said, so probably won't be till next month.
Yeah.
If we're able to, I'm just assuming he liked us and wants to come back on. But it'd be cool to have him back on.
Conjecture.
Our last comment, I was really happy about this because we've never gotten this comment. So I feel like by getting this comment, there's enough people to warrant this comment even happening. So I feel like we've reached a milestone here. So this comment was... Do you want to read it or do you want me to read it?
Oh, yeah, I immediately pulled up.
Okay. Said, yeah, unsubscribing as long as Jay Ruler, the spoiled man child, shows up on this channel. So I was pretty happy. We've never gotten an unsub comment before. I think someone subscribed when he unsubbed, though, because our number is still the same at the time of recording.
Well, now that you say it, people are like, I don't know, unsubscribe right now just to prove a point. I'll subscribe again later. I've done that. Someone goes, what? Guys. 3,000 Q&A. I'm unsubbing for a little bit.
I didn't notice that the promo Book of Dart was textured. I didn't realize that. Yeah. That's cool. But no, I thought that was
Are those Michael's cards you still need to send to him?
Yeah, one day. Yeah, no, I thought that was great. Spoiler, he does monthly videos. He had a video last month that apparently a lot of the people in the comments didn't see. Even though I advertised that one as J Ruler and this one I didn't, so I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love J Ruler. He has a lot of cool insight and stuff like that. I disagree with some of his stuff on this, but you know, a lot of people go by what they saw on Ruler on the Beats podcast, which was very much exaggerated characters that they did for the most part, but he's super cool in real life. So that was a fun thing to talk about. Next thing we want to talk about, even more conjecture here. So Caster Chronicles, I want to hear Joey's opinion on this. So Caster Chronicles.
Oh man, I love Caster Chronicles. It's probably my favorite game to not play.
It's in an interesting state right now. So they're in this state where pretty much set 1 and all that stuff is completely sold out in the US. You can't get it. Set 2 I think was doing pretty good. It seemed like it was selling really well. I don't know if it got to the sold out status, whether that's because not as many people bought it or they print it more, not sure. But there's that came out. It seemed like it was doing pretty good. And then they announced this thing that you guys might have seen on the Forcible News where they're going to be coming out with, well, they had come out with a booster box in Japan that was exclusive to Japan, that was based on an animu, and so it wasn't legal in the US. They recently announced that the set was going to become legal in the US, and they're going to ship it to the US, but they were going to keep it Japanese. They weren't translating the cards. And to me, that felt like a very bad sign.
Well, I mean, it was even said by Jeff on stream that it was done because that's the only way to get around the whole distribution rights within the US.
Well, we'll clear that on the onset before I get into more conjecture. The reasoning, I think part of the reasoning was didn't want to be like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where Japan is different than the US as far as legality of cards and different things like that, as far as the world stage. Here's the thing. I'm not too concerned with Caster Chronicles in their world stage right now. I'm really heavily concerned about them and my shop 5 minutes down the road stage right now. It's having a battleground with that before it even gets to the district level, before it gets to the state level, before it gets to the national level, let alone the world level. We're in no position to be worrying about the world level. If it ever gets to that point, print a Vengolf type set, release these cards in English. At this delicate early stage, this is a terrible idea in my opinion. Because I'll just briefly go over what I said in the news because I'm more curious on your thoughts since people probably already heard my thoughts. But it's a game that's already struggling. in a sense, to get a consistent community. Not that struggling on selling so much as getting a consistent community. So now people coming in, you're like, oh yeah, you want to play this game? So it's got 3 booster boxes, a third of which are not in English. So these cards that you have no knowledge of, you also gotta memorize a visual thing of the card of what it might do, or you could have it on your phone because they'll have the English database on there and search the card every single time. And if you're like me, if you play the same card 4 times in a row, I still have to reread it each time if it's one I'm not familiar with. So I'm gonna have to be like, wait, okay, I saw this one earlier. Let me go back on my phone. Oh shoot, I went back to Google search. My bad. Let me go forward back to the website. And that whole deal, that's gonna be fun. And so you got new people like that. You got existing people who, some people were upset enough that they were already saying that they were gonna leave the game because they don't want to have to deal with that. Which I agree as far as play wise, that's super annoying. If they were just releasing it and saying it's not legal, here's it for collectors, that'd be awesome. I'd love to just collect that set. Yeah, Oscar already was doing that.
Yeah, I'm somebody who doesn't even like the game anymore, just doesn't even play it, but I want to collect some of the cards because some of the cards are pretty cool.
Yeah. So my fear was that maybe it's not doing as hot in Japan, and so they have excess product perhaps. So that's why it's in Japanese, and so they're shipping to the US to try and offload it before the game possibly dies or starts to slow down, which it will 100% slow down with this set legally in the mix, in my opinion. But your guys' thoughts now?
I'll take a crack at it, I guess. I definitely I've got to agree with. I mean, I pretty much agree with pretty much everything you said, Colin. We've already kind of laid out how the issues that I take on what they're already doing with the sealed and unsealed rulers that they're doing now. You can't just expect someone to play a card and then be like, oh wait, this card does this actually, and then sure you can show it up, but for something casual and for just as a barrier of entry, you can't play a card that someone can't read. Whenever I play a new card game, and somebody plays a card, I instantly have to turn that around, read it, and then be like, okay, now I know what this does, and I'll probably turn it around and read it 4 more times. It's probably annoying for whoever I'm playing against, but just constantly asking to read the card and make sure I know what's on the board state. If that card's in Japanese and I have to reference half of your deck, I'm not gonna play that game. I just you can't keep up you can't easily assess board states if somebody has 5 cards in Japanese and I'm not yes, it is. I think it's fine for people who are either already playing or already deep enough into the game that they don't really care that they're that you play a card, you know exactly what it does. If I play the Scorner Dark Alice, I know what that card does without thinking. If I play Cheshire Cat, I already know what it does. But if I'm a new player, I'm not gonna know, or if I'm playing a new set, I haven't researched these cards, I don't know what these cards do. It's just annoying and terrible for locals, and I would not like to play it.
So what do you think about that, Colin? No, on my side of things though, the way I see it is there's that aspect, but to me there's also the part of and I'm looking for Forcible Rules point of view, not necessarily the caster's point of view where it's not as technical, but to me there's a lot of phrasing that needs to be properly translated and referred to often. But wait, does that say it targeted this, or in response to that, am I actually going to be able to play this card instead? To me, that's what comes out important.
Yeah, and I just think a card like a TCG, and all TCGs are half of the basis is communication between you and your opponent. We see this at top level Magic the Gathering. Oh, I wanted to play this when you entered your battle phase. Not people shortcut Magic all the time. There was this huge conundrum I don't know, probably half a year to a year ago now, when somebody asked attacks, and attacks is a shortcutting to declare attacking phase or something, and someone wanted to tap something down. There's this big conundrum, and that was in English. If you're trying to do this and have communication is all a part of any card game you play. You're communicating with one other person, you're making sure they know what you're doing, and they're making sure you know what they're doing. And part of that is I can't this is not this game, like just gameplay wise. I don't care about the distribution rights. I don't care about how it's selling. Like I cannot play a game where I cannot easily see and ascertain what cards are what is doing what is affecting the board state, and what game I'm playing. Like it's not gonna happen for me, and I think that's gonna turn off a ton of people to this game, and it's really unfortunate because the game seemed like it was doing cool, and I don't know, I like the reason I like Forcible Rules is because of all the cool anime stuff, and this is like that, like double. So
yeah, super Weeaboo.
Yep. But no, it sounds frustrating. Like I wouldn't play a game like that. I wouldn't, unless I was like already deep enough into it, and like if they had cards that they played in English, and as they played, I already knew what that card did. Like, you know, again, in Forcible, I know what cards do when they play them. Like, I know effects because I played the card so many times, or I played versus a card so many times. So when somebody says, you know, I'll sack my Killing Stone for Griffin, I'm like, okay, cool, just do the effect. I don't have to read Griffin. I already know what he does. And like, that's great if you're already deep into the meta game and deep into you already know what the cards do. This is so difficult, and it's communication, and like it's not gonna happen.
I feel like it needs to be more established, you know, before making a move like this. Like,
yeah, or like, but like even if you're established, like you need to have cards in English, unless maybe they're staples, and people only run like 10 to 12 cards in their deck. And if they're staples and they're getting played every time, sure, after a week or two of playing, I'll know what those do, you know, just like I know what every other card does in English. But if you're just starting out, it sounds like it sucks. It would suck.
And to be fair, though, the set is like a 35-40 card set. So it's not like you're having to memorize 180 cards. And they're actually not that bad. I was reading one of them, and it was a caster, and she said, like, something the condition is met, and then tap her and pay 4 candy, and return reverse servant to your opponent's hand. I was like, wow, it's not bad. Like, I could do that on my turn and not worry about having to attacking that servant.
That's the thing. If it was Vingolf 2 cards, it wouldn't be a big deal because we don't have to worry about anyone playing them. The fact that they're good, I think, is worse because you have to play them. If you're not playing them, you're at a disadvantage to your opponent who might be playing them. Especially with cards, bouncing is extremely good in this game. Mm-hmm. Especially if you said it was a reverse position servant. Yeah, that's great.
There was a condition, man. I forget what it was, unless that was actually just the text itself. I was going through some of them. Well, no, I think it said something like, "Oh, if you haven't done this yet, then do this," type of condition. Like, there's some that say like, "Oh, have you not played a spell this turn? Cool. At your end phase, do this." You know, like draw a card, which is that one green one, the Mellow, I think, or Mallow. I might be wrong.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, I like the game. I'm doing stuff for it. And in case you guys are wondering, I'll have the spoiler videos starting hopefully this Friday. I know they start spoilers. I'm not, like I mentioned earlier, I'm moving houses and stuff like that, so I've just been busy. And it was also Easter weekend. So I'm trying to get back up on Caster's content here soon. But yeah, just been.
There's a few things we're trying to finish up. Frank gave us his article, which I had only edited partially with images, and
right, I gotta look at that.
Yeah, it needs a couple more images. I'm gonna let you put the couple more images in because I have this video to work on now. This podcast. Yep, tomorrow we recorded super late, guys, and then so that article will be up on our website if you're interested in epic stories and just want to read up on it. And
TCGScrubs.com.
Yep, TCGScrubs.com, and then. I have a video version of that coming out where I explain the game as well. We're not just trying to, what's the term here? Overflood you with all these epic stories videos. I understand if you don't care about the format. This will be the last push of it, like this article, my how-to video. And after that, you're only going to see like some gameplay videos show up like here and there, like once a week or so.
Yeah.
So nothing insane. So if you're like worried about that for some reason, well, there's your explainer.
We haven't had any negative things about epic stories.
No, but I just want to just in case somebody goes, wow, it's 2 videos in 1 week and this article and now this how-to video, are they switching to just do this now? It's like, don't worry, we're not. It's fun. Do it. Play it. But we're just really trying to get the word out there.
And we also stream it on twitch.tv/TCGScrubs.
Yes. It's really, in my opinion, a good format to stream as well, as opposed to like if we're just to show up and play some New Frontier stuff.
Yeah, I've been loving Epic Stories. It's such a great. It's
fun.
like I love Commander and Magic, and like some of my favorite like playing Magic memories is just like you know we like especially some of the pre-con decks. I think like 2018, like the mono green ones, or 2016, not 2018. Anyways, it just like jamming like four people, and just like one guy's got a board state of like 12 elves, and they're all like buffed to like 6, like 6/6s, and then like another guy's got his like Commander Planeswalker, like Duretti and Wormcoil Engine, and like just freaking recurring that every turn. Oh my god, it's so much fun. And this
I remember all those words.
Okay, whatever. No, it's absolutely.
Yeah, I enjoy watching that format. Like, I watch the Command Zone, somebody who watches Magic stuff, and I really like when they do their, what's it called, Duel Nights, I think it is, or I might forget the name of it, where they get 4 people to show up, and 2 of them are usually like some sort of popular content creators, and like Tolarian, and they'll just play out some games. It's just really cool. I like just watching it. Like, I learn card names as a result, because I never played Magic really, besides when we draft that joke set.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
it's cool watching.
I just,
I like it.
It was one of my favorite things of playing Magic, and it's definitely becoming one of my favorite things of playing Forcible. Like, I want to play more.
Well, yeah, like if you look at me right now, like in the past, I don't know, 5 to 6 months, if you go, hey, how many decks have you built? I'm like, I don't know, like 4, maybe 3. And then you look at me right now in this past week and a half, so you start playing Epic Stories, like, Oscar, how many decks did you build? Like, oh, I'm at 9 right now. And I have more ideas I want to flesh out. And like one of those 9 is a horrible deck. I want to just rework before it even sees the light of day.
I've got a lot of troll decks in mind.
I have such an interesting deck. And I'm sure somebody is like, one of you guys are have done something similar, but it's interesting.
Well, I think it's funny. Colin's like, I have troll decks, and I'm like, man, I really taken this like synergize your rulers things like together seriously. Like, I really want this to.
Hey, I keep giving you ideas for synergy.
Some of these ideas aren't yours. Some of these ideas are mine.
I'm just saying.
The couple I worked this weekend.
I'm like, here, Oscar. Here's some free synergy.
He doesn't say that. It's a discussion like, man, Colin, isn't this great? Yeah, it is. Oh, man, wouldn't it be cool to make Tree something like 60 cards, Mill? And he's like, man, pair that with Aliceris. I'm like, oh, crap, pair that with Aliceris, yes. That's the kind of like ping-ponging we do off of each other that's not feeding me
by
ideas.
ping-pong, he's like tapping the ping-pong, and then I go, bam, and Oscar's like, yeah, we ping-ponged, but like, it was really all me.
Well, I generally do my thing. Here's my idea. Bing. He's like, slam. Sends it back in the light court. But anyways.
Oh my goodness.
And meanwhile, as you guys will see this search, I'm like, my decks are just like, what if I just like, every card was just made my opponent discard something, and then I just make a deck about that.
Some stuff I want to play with soon, and it's a question that's popped up in the Epic Stories group here and there, and if you listen to this now, you'll know the answer. But somebody was asking if you have 2 rulers with mana on them, and you play the card that says, your ruler with mana gains a counter. They both gain the counter. But yet, if you have a card that says remove a mana counter from your ruler, you only remove it from one of the rulers, because usually it's like a pay X to do this rather than remove an X.
So instead of Gil and Trash Umar, I should have played Gil and Soul.
Right.
Yeah.
Although that's
so you guys can guess what I'm working on next.
Oh, yeah.
And then the same thing goes to Keurig. So if you were to run, say, Keurig and any other ruler, they can all gain their strength counters. And then you can start burning extra strength counters that are on the other ruler. It says remove X strength counters from the ruler.
So any of those put mystery counters?
Strength counters?
No. Well, any type of counter. Like if Colin had who was that guy that when he attacked he put 3 mystery counters on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it was Grim, right?
Put
Grim
3 on
2.
each. Yeah.
Grim 2. Yeah.
So what you're saying?
So if you have a card that says
bat.
you
need
can
to run
do
Hero Bat.
Yeah.
I need to run like 34 Hero Bat that can't be targeted.
And then try to hit that card out of 60 cards. Drew.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I just need to run 20 tutors.
Well, you just need to run Bat and then a bunch of things to clone Bat.
You can't clone bat.
Hey, can you make a token of it, and then you make a copy of that token?
That's true.
Then you banish to make a copy of that token of that token?
Bat. I just.
No, Joey, you're thinking too small.
No, dude.
When you go into a cave, are you like...
on it?
Is it scary if you run into one Zubat in a cave, Joey? Or is it scary because you run into multiple Zubats, regardless of power level?
I was actually more mad that I was running into so many Geodudes than those Zubats.
I would have loved to run into some
and I often couldn't take them out.
Zubats are much worse. Zubats had Supersonic, so you're confused.
I always
Geodudes had Defense Curl. They would just defense curl the crap out of themselves.
You just squirt them with water and they're dead.
If you have a water Pokemon, who doesn't have a water Pokemon?
That's your fault then. Everyone has a water Pokemon.
You either have Bulbasaur or you have Squirtle. Like, you have a green
or
green or blue. You have a water type or a grass type as two-thirds of your choices.
Or you're like me and you run around with a Poliwrath because they're super cool looking.
Listen,
and you just bubble them to death.
In the latest Sun and Moon, I went Litten. Okay, so I was running around with the fire type. I didn't like the green or the blue ones.
Is it? So you could say that you're so lint right now.
No. I don't get
Litten because you're so lit.
Terrible. Okay. Anyways, that's your responsibility.
Bats, yeah, 5 slots. You can fit one of each typing in there that are matter.
Dude. I'm making a solo bats deck where all Rhea does the whole time is just taps for mystery counters, and then all the other ruler does is like taps for mana, and then just like gains mystery counters just because I'm playing mystery counter stuff.
Well, it's like I was telling Colin to do Keurig and the draft red rulers, since you don't need a judgment with the draft red rulers, so you start off like 20 counters at the start of your game.
And since it goes on to both of them, you have a piggy out. And then you pay 1 and fast food it, and you instantly gain 30 counters total, strength counters.
Oh my goodness! Wow, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Drew's like, I get it.
I didn't know that.
So we somehow got into an epic stories discussion again.
This wasn't planned. It was even on the schedule.
All right, we should probably move to Rule of the Week super quick.
Well, we're supposed to do the promos. I just want to talk about the one.
That was only if we didn't have time. Which one? Oh
yeah. The blue-white. Stone.
Okay, we'll go over that super quick.
Alright, look, I'm doing the thing, pulling up the card to screen. There you go, guys.
Is that the one? That's not Keys' call, is it?
No.
No, it has a dragon.
Alright, so the stone is called Pietra Magica del Vapori Luminosi.
Oh, that's cool.
Anyways,
translated to Magic Stone of Light Vapors.
Green, white Magic Stone. Blue, white Magic Stone.
Yes, it's Magic Stone of Light Vapors. So it's a promo.
I translated it to blue, white Magic Stone.
It's a badass looking promo. Probably one of the coolest looking stones I've ever seen.
It is. And there's debate on this card.
There's the question of, is this an actual promo or is this a region exclusive promo like Rulers Memoria have been and stuff like that?
I mean, the bigger question is if this was the April Fool's joke as well. Some are debating
I don't think so.
This
is way too nice of artwork.
Someone wouldn't, yeah. Okay, so the actual question is that orb of light above him? Is that the same orb that you see in the Magic Stone?
It looks similar to
moon?
it, yeah. It looks like a zoomed out version of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like the dragon possesses it.
But so I honestly think it's going to be region only, like the way that one water golem was an Italian only.
It's probably like Venice locked, right? Because it's like on the water.
Yeah, well, that's what I was reading. A lot of the Italian comments on the card from their page, and a lot of them are wondering, saying that it's obviously Venice, and they're wondering, are we going to see the other 10 stones, and will they all be the same Venice location, or are they going to start to go to different locations, either around Italy, around the world? What's this going to be?
Oh, that'd be cool if each region had a major city represented for different.
We need
like Fresno,
like red white and then blue white and then red blue as our 3 stones. Because it's red, white, and blue.
We get 3 stones?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're doing God, I'd feel so gypped if we just got an eagle, bald eagle or something like that. Come on, man.
I don't know. If it looks super cool the way this is drawn, but it was an eagle, that'd be cool.
No! Since what is their state theme? A freaking dragon with angel wings? and we get a freaking bald eagle, I could literally just go to my neighbor's patriotic house and see a bald eagle right now if I wanted to. Where am I going to see a dragon with angel wings holding a godstone above him that's swirling water around it?
Wait, why did your neighbor have a Patreon account?
What?
Why did your neighbor have a Patreon account?
Patriotic.
Oh, okay.
Like a bald eagle. Where does a bald eagle factor into Patreon, Oscar?
You said Patreon account is what I heard.
Yeah,
patriotic.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
I heard Patreon something.
Yeah.
Like,
Patriotic.
Anyways,
I don't want to see a bald eagle. Maybe if it was a bald eagle dragon, then we'd be talking.
Exactly. Like look, Colin, you thought Raw was cool in the last set, right?
Did I?
Raw the whatever dude.
Yeah, you're
I
pretty.
thought it was a
hyped on
cool
it.
card. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the artwork was meh.
No, it was awesome.
The full art is nice, just because of the oversaturated yellow was really.
I was
nice.
hyped on the Egyptian theme. Maybe that's what you're getting confused with.
Oh yeah, I remember when Oscar was hyped on the Egyptian theme.
I wanted to see more, and they're like,
again.
nope.
They heard you liked it.
What's next on our docket?
Speaking of April Fools, Oscar, your thoughts?
Yeah. I was saying there was a lack of an April Fool's joke this year. Like, there was a semi-attempt where somebody was like, "Hey, is this real?" And it was like some ruler chibi-looking cards that are very generic-looking. I guess I didn't share the picture here. I should have.
Oh yeah.
Where they're like supposed to be for teaching children or something like that. But the whole post and the whole website was in Japanese. You couldn't even read what it said. And it's just like, is this a joke? And it ended up being their version of the April Fool's joke that didn't, I guess, translate to English or any other country besides Japan, because Casters did the same joke, and the page within they did it on was a Wix account, and so was the one for the Casters. And then today, Casters is on under Twitter. It was like, yeah, it's April Fool's joke, haha.
The best joke is the one you gotta work for.
Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty lame. I know that, again, this goes back to Jordan. Jordan was the one who was organizing like all those previous, April Fool's jokes. So
I remember my beef with Jeff. But like my theory, because we had said that, and I was like, does that mean? I was like, I need to talk to Jeff. Apparently, he doesn't have quite a sense of humor not do an April Fool's thing. That was my whole thing. Yeah, that was it.
Well, now you know.
I'm really disappointed now that I remember.
And it sucks because last year's April Fool's jokes, ended up spawning out into some cool cards we got. The Band Girls and the Husband.
It sucks that the cards didn't amount to being worth much, but there were some of my favorite, like, just fun cards in this. I mean, obviously there's not much to compare it to, but it was still, like, really cool having those cards. So we'll skip the Ruler of the Week this week, guys. Next week we'll do it. It's going to be the Ascended version of Alice, and we're gonna do her since we had the spoiled card of Vivian. I thought it'd be cool to revisit fairies, especially if we start getting fairies again. Both revisit fairies for Wanderer and maybe talk about the potential of New Frontiers having fairies again.
My favorite fairy is actually a dragon. Anyways,
that about wraps it up for this week's podcast. Thanks, you guys, if you guys are still here, for listening. And, I guess we'll just see you guys next time.
Yeah. Bye.